Well, I just hit something on my mouse and it totally changed the countdown, but it doesn't matter. Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Carissa at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'm super excited to be here with you today on a Monday. So exciting. I have wanted to create with this release from Kristina Werner from the September 2025 collection, and I just have not had a chance to, I haven't had a chance to like just do a pre-recorded video. And honestly, I've been, as a lot of you know, I've been just kind of taking it easy the last week or so. And so I just thought we would go live with it instead and we could create together. And also, I just feel like more of you watch the lives than you do the pre-recorded. And so whether you're watching live here with me or if you're watching on the replay, I just want to say thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that when you come here that you feel a little light, you feel a little joy, you leave inspired, and that's my goal every time you come here. I see my friend Mindy out there in the chat. I love when you guys chat along in live chat. It just, you know, it just gives me a little boost. It's like when you say amen to the preacher and he's preaching. He likes that. Anyway, so it's kind of like that. It's you guys letting me know you're out there, you're interacting with each other, you're interacting with me, and I love that. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications so that you don't miss any of the pre-recorded and live streams that I share here. I will have a pre-recorded video tomorrow for you as well, so be sure you're keeping your eye out for that. It'll go live about 7 a.m. Pacific time, so just mark that on your calendar for the Pink Fresh Studio release. Joy says, I love your lives. Thank you so much. I always love that. I always love that you guys are so encouraging to me. You guys are seriously the best, and I really appreciate you. So also be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you have not already. Let's go down to the desktop and look at what I'm going to be working with today. I am using the new Kristina Werner release from September. Oh, good Lord. It has been September for a long time. September 2025, and it's the holiday release. And I fell in love with this Joyful and Merry bundle here. So I'm going to be using that for sure. And there's a couple of versions of the Winter Greenery stamps. There is a background stamp. Let me just show you that here. That has the same artwork, but it's arranged into like a pre-done bundle for you. So this is linked in the YouTube description. I have all this linked in the YouTube description, but I decided I wanted to use like the individual pieces, which is the Winter Greenery stamps. This is the Winter Greenery background stamp. Now, both of these collections have a coordinating stencil set and a die set. So no matter which one you pick up, you will have those options to pick up that as well. The reflection of the lights looks like glitter. I don't know which reflection it is. So I thought what I would do, I kind of went back and forth on this. I want to obviously stamp them and blend them and die cut them and then arrange them on a card. I mean, that's not earth shattering. Okay, I get it. I considered doing this on colored cardstock and then blending color on top of color. I will tell you here why I'm not doing that, okay? If you look at the coordinating dies, there is a lot of white space on these that does not get like cut out by the die. And so I thought the colored cardstock could be a little distracting for something like that, especially when there's like the berries and like pieces going in on these that won't get cut off by the die. So I really wanted to, I thought about doing that, but I thought, I don't know, all that extra color around it might be a little distracting. So I decided to go with an embossed version instead, and we'll do a little stenciling with the stencil pack, and I'll show you how those work. I did do a little bit of die cutting ahead of time, and die cut the sentiments and the shadow layer from this, and then we'll do a sentiment strip probably with that. But is that enough talking from me? Probably. So what I'm going to start by doing is stamping and heat embossing, and my thought is actually that I might do a couple of sets of these just in case I don't like one, or in case I need an extra greenery or something like that. You know how if you already have it out and you're doing it, you might as well just do another, right? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll see how many of these we can fit on a half sheet. This is Concord and 9th white cardstock. If you've been around here long at all, you know that it is like my favorite white cardstock. And I am going to be a little bit careful about how close I put these to each other because I'm going to be stenciling these and I don't want to do like a ton of masking to prevent, you know, color from going into the next object. So let's see if I can make all of this work. This is the large poinsettia. I don't know that I can get this and the medium poinsettia all on here. Let's just kind of work our way around here, see if we can make something happen. Because I feel like I'll probably use more of the greenery anyway. So, okay, this is what I think I'll do. Because I can't get both of these on here, just not realistically. I think what I'll do is I'll stamp these, and then for the second set, I'll switch out the poinsettias. So let's start by picking these up. And I am going to use a powder tool to prep the surface, and I'm going to be using this Altenew Platinum embossing powder. And this is the best match, I think, for the champagne paper from Concord and 9th that I love so much. I am using my Christmas color palette, which if you've been around here a minute, you know you've seen it this season already. But if you're not familiar with it, I'll show it to you here in just a bit. So let me go ahead and ink up these stamps with some Versamark ink. You could use whatever embossing ink that you want. Switcheroo, yes, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a switcheroo, and that rhymes. And I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Okay, so let's ink these up really good. You know that saying, measure twice, cut once. It's like a sewing saying. Well, we ink twice and stamp once, hopefully. We may have to stamp twice. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stamp these down. I am gonna use my Pink Fresh Studio stamp press tool just because I can glide over the top of this very easily. How's everybody's Monday? I know somebody said, I hope, oh, it was my friend. It was my friend. Oh my gosh, I just totally lost her name. I love her to death. She is so sweet, even on Instagram. Donna Marie. Donna Marie said, I hope you're having a beautiful day already, and I am. My husband was actually gone for about 5 days last week. I was home alone. I don't tell you guys on the internet that because I don't want some creep showing up at my door while he's gone. So he's back. He got back late last night. He was up doing a men's event for a church in Idaho at his brother's church. And so he's back, and so everything feels right in the world. I had the house already, the sheets were clean when he got back late last night, and he's back to work this morning. So I'm having a great Monday. I did have to go get my nails done this morning because yesterday I was trying to open something and I broke a nail, and then I was like, well, I can't go all week with no nails on. So anyway. So we're just going to do this. So everything's feeling great in my world. My nails are back on. My husband is back home, and it's all good. All right. So I'm just going to make sure before, yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to remove that, and then we'll do the switcheroo. Now I don't want to close this on this before I switch this out, and that's because I would get ink from that larger poinsettia onto my cardstock, and then I would end up with ink in places that I don't want it. So let's go ahead and prep the second sheet, and we're gonna work real fast because we have some time with Versamark, but you know, I feel like if you let it sit too long, then, you know, your embossing powder just doesn't stick as well. Beth Ann, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. The little clapping hands. Margie says they're supposed to have storms later. The other day it was raining. I don't know if you saw on my Instagram stories. It was raining here in California and I was needing to do some spray painting and it was so annoying because usually you don't have to think about things like that. Beth Ann says, thanks for sharing your wonderful talent with us. Well, thank you for being here, Beth Ann. I really appreciate you. Sydney says, I love your nails and that color. This is one of my tried and true favorites. I'm a girl who loves pink fingernails and pink toenails, and I love red lips. So this color is a dip powder by S&S, and it's called Girls of My Dreams. Girls of My Dreams, or something like that. So it's one I wear all the time, and recently I've been kind of going away from it, and now I think I'm back home to it again. So, storms expected this afternoon. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle on the Platinum Embossing Powder from Altenew. Oh, I have some chunks in there, but that's okay. And we're just going to make sure that everything gets coated really well. Tap it off. Check our work. Recoat if we need to. Kind of shimmy it around. And then just flick off any excess. Usually I find a good flick kind of takes care of anything that's hanging out. So we'll do that. It's hot in Oklahoma, Martha says. It's probably really humid in Oklahoma. And then you guys get those change in weather where it just like turns on a dime there in Oklahoma. And in Texas too, I feel like it can just turn on a dime. So ours, it's been a little more humid here in the last few days than I'm used to because of that storm that we got last week with a couple of days of rain. And let me just tell you, Saturday, I was in an outdoor party for my niece who just turned 2. And it was so humid. It was just gross. And we're not used to that here. So Tina says, hi, Carissa, just finished work. Happy to be here for your live. Well, I'm happy you're here, Tina. Okay, so we have our embossing powder on both sheets of images. I have made a complete mess on my desk. Do you see? I'm not great at this, y'all. I do make messes all the time. Embossing powder tends to be one of my biggest messes, and partly because it's in such a small container there. Let's see if I can put this back. Okay, most of it's back in. We'll tap it down. And then let's just wipe this off. Did you all have a good weekend? I hope you all had a good weekend and enjoyed some R&R if that was in the cards for you. Rain, blue skies, and sunshine right now in Tennessee. Wow, it's all the things, huh? Okay, so Pennsylvania gray here. Okay. It's sunny here today, but a little humid. So I'm gonna let this heat up nice and hot before I take it to my cardstock. And then I'm going to take it to the back side. So we'll just kind of melt the embossing powder from the back side. Sometimes this takes a little bit longer, but it will keep the force of the air from moving any of the embossing powder off of the ink, which I've noticed recently I've had some issues with. So I'm just doing this from the back side, just making sure it's melted. And once it melts, I'm just moving on. So you can see once the cardstock kind of heats up and it begins to melt, then you're moving pretty quickly through embossing all of the images. And we have a lot of images to emboss. So the other thing is you want to make sure that you are not overheating any of the embossing powder, because that will make it just sink right back into the paper. You're going to lose your shine. You're going to lose your dimension. And it's just going to look kind of bleh. So you know it's done when it's smooth and it's shiny. So you're looking for those two things, smooth and shiny, and then you can move on. You don't want a grainy look. It should be smooth. Okay. And I think one of the things that we're gonna do, we did like a ink blending live recently. I'm gonna finish this one off on the front. We did an ink blending live recently, and I think another one that someone suggested would be a embossing live, and so maybe we'll do that. Does it help stop the embossing powder from bubbling? If you are getting bubbling in your embossing powder, you're probably overheating. I find that more often than not, I get more bubbling when I'm doing embossing on vellum. And the problem is, generally speaking, a problem with overheating. So that would be what I would say would be the problem with bubbling. So if you're getting bubbling, make sure that you're just not overheating. I would say that's generally the problem that I find if it's bubbling. I've just left it in place too long. You can go out a little further from your cardstock to prevent that as well. Or you could turn your embossing gun down if it has like a lower heat setting. You could lower the heat setting if you tend to find you have problems with that. Okay. So we're just gonna do this. Last one here. This is our large poinsettia. I'm gonna do this one from the front real quick. When I get to the end of the paper, it's hard for me to get my heat gun down there where I need it. Okay. Then I'm just doing a little tilt in the light to make sure everything's smooth and melted, and then we're good to go. I do tend to go in high heat and close. Yeah, I would say less heat and further away, and make sure the heat tool is heated up all the way before you take it to the paper. I made my first Yuletide Lane card this weekend. It actually took me 3 days, labor of love, but cute card. I know it is a labor of love, but it is fun. And it's like one of those cards that you can put on a like Hallmark movie or something if you're into that, and get some jolly in your life. Okay, let's put this down. We're a little warped, but I'm not gonna stress about that. I'm just gonna put this down on my grip mat here to do my blending. Okay, so let's start. This is the medium poinsettia. So these stencils, there's 3 6x6 stencils. This stencil here is for the large poinsettia. They're all etched, so it tells you what it's for. Okay, these are for the greenery here, couple greeneries. It shows you which stem. And on the, on the stamp set, it tells you stem 1, stem 2, stem 3. It marks them for you, so you know which one goes. So for this one, we need the medium poinsettia. So we're just gonna rotate this until we figure out which way we need it to go. Looks like there. And we'll get it nice and lined up. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm just gonna, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna grab? I just want to protect this because I know like I tend to be unwieldy. So just peeking in my drawer over here for a blending brush first. We need that. And then we could do, oh, the dogs are talking. Let's just do that. Okay. So I'm going to start, I have my Christmas color palette. Let's talk, there's going to be a lot of blending today, but this is my palette that I'm using this year. I like to pick like a palette for the season, and that makes creating a whole lot easier because it just becomes kind of my go-to for the season. I'm starting out with Nectar. Okay. And then we're going to move into some Pimento and Poppy here. So let's go with, I feel like that was super orange because this wasn't truly a Nectar brush. But it's okay because we're going to push this to the red side with pimento. And if I haven't made a pimento believer out of you yet, then I might just do that today. Because it's one of those colors that it took me some time to figure out how I like to use it. But now that I know that I love to use it with a true red and like that nectar color, it's a favorite of mine. Okay, so we're gonna wipe that off. And then we're gonna move the stencil. And let's see. It shows you, okay, so it has some etched lines that we need to line up with the stamped image. Okay. So we get that there. I'm gonna do this. And I'm covering part of that leaf. Okay. Let's go with a large brush here. I'm gonna go like soft on this pimento. I don't want it to like overtake anything here. Okay. So little pimento, and then we'll move into poppy with a smaller brush. I ordered pimento everything last week. Is that because of me? I'm sorry. Sandy Lyle says it's one of her favorite C9 colors. Oh yes, we don't want you falling, Margie. Okay, now we're going into poppy. All right. That kind of overtook the pimento just a little, but it's okay. We'll just kind of do this. All right, and then we're gonna go to the center of the florals, and for that, I am going to use the Stardust. And the Stardust was one of those that I pulled in last minute because I just felt like when you're doing things like this, sometimes you just need a yellow. And this is one of those colors that I consider to be like a chameleon color. It kind of can be yellow, it kind of can be green. It depends on what you pair it with and how you use it. Okay, so let me actually, I got it off here. So we're gonna replace that and then do this. All right. Yes, it's because of you. When I saw your first September video, ordered the whole bundle. My husband said, "What did you order now, Sydney?" I know. I'm sorry. But I hope you have the best time creating with it. Isn't that pretty? Okay, but I want to go back to this center right here and maybe bump up the red just a touch around the center. So let's go back to poppy and go just a little more hardcore right there. All right. So let's see. Ooh, that's stunning. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. You would have never guessed that nectar's in there, but you can kind of see it on the tips of this one when you look up close. Okay, so that was for the medium poinsettia. There's the large poinsettia works the same way. And now we're gonna make a mess here. I can already feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Okay, so this one, let's go with this one next. For this one, I have kind of two families of green picked out. I have the more blue-green families, which is the eucalyptus and rainforest. So we'll probably do that one for this one. And I need to be careful where I put my lids because I could definitely put them over my paper and then probably make a mess. So let's do this. This is eucalyptus. These are like what I would consider gray and blue greens. They have a lot of gray in them, a lot of blue. They're absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we'll start with that. And then we'll come in dun, da, 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 with Rainforest just towards the inner base of these. And I'm thinking, I think I want my berries to be white. I'm thinking of doing a little white blending here. It's a little more challenging sometimes. Let's see if I can get it right. Okay, so that, and then to do the berries, what I need to do is just take the stencil and move it over and line up with these berries here. And then what I'll do for this, because I want the berries to be white, but I don't want them to have no depth, I'm gonna grab Pebble, ouch, just hit my knee. And I'm gonna grab like a tiny blending brush from Altenew. This is like a micro. And I'm just gonna bring in a little bit towards the base of those. I mean, the tiniest bit. Because I don't want them to be gray. I want them to be white, but I want them to have shadow. Okay. So now, can you see, let's hold this up. Can you see that little tiny bit of shadow? Just a little. Okay. So let's move to this guy. So this is an easy one because it's a single stencil. And for this one, let's do the same colors. Let's do eucalyptus and rainforest. Maybe we'll do more eucalyptus. And then the other set is more the yellow greens, and that is what I have pulled out, pistachio and artichoke. Okay, so let's do that. And let's grab another micro brush and just bring in the tiniest hints of rainforest here. A little more control with the smaller brush. You could totally do this with like a marker if you wanted to do that instead. If you wanted to do your shading with a marker. So you could lay down like a layer of eucalyptus and then come in with a darker marker if you wanted to kind of add your shading. Okay, let's do the holly leaves. For this one, I'm going to do the pistachio and the artichoke. So let's do this. Let's line it up. Okay. So I'm going to start with pistachio. I'm making a mess. It's more of a yellow green. Pistachio is another one that they released this year, Concord and 9th. And I love pistachio. It is such a beautiful color. And then towards the base, we're going to go in with artichoke. Adriana, thanks for being here. You got to run. I totally get it. I totally get it. But thanks for coming in and chatting with us for a bit. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of shading with the artichoke. And then let's bring in the reds for the berries this time. So we're going to do red berries on this guy. Let's see, get it lined up. And then let's do pimento and poppy. I love pistachio too. It's a fun color. It's a good color. It's a good complement to some of the greens that they already had. So it just made sense. Okay, so we'll do pimento. Pimento's a little more orangey. And then let's grab a micro brush again and do our poppy with that. Just because I like a little more control, you know, otherwise I get carried away. All right, let's wipe that. See if we like it. Oh, we love it. I love this. And then this little stem is here. We're gonna do the same colors again. And then for our next set, which I don't know, maybe I'll cut this out, see how we are, and then if we need to blend another piece or two for, I think I'm gonna be happy with this medium poinsettia. I don't feel like I need the large one, but let's see once we cut these out and we kind of arrange how we feel. This is not what I meant to do. I meant to do pistachio. So this will be interesting, but I think it'll all be fine. Okay, so I'm going a little harder towards the center of the leaves, a little lighter towards the edge. I'm not trying to cover everything solid. Just getting some color laid down there. And then we'll come in with artichoke toward the stem. Okay, that's really beautiful. Okay, love that. And wipe that up. Okay, so now we have some greenery, and I like to mix up the various colors of greenery so that you get a little bit of variance, because not all greeneries are the same. So we have those. I just added C9 to my craft room. My inks came today in cardstock last week. I hold Carissa totally responsible for that. I don't think you're gonna regret it. They have a great color line, beautiful color line. I do wanna do maybe one more each of these berry pieces. So let's do this guy, the holly. Oh my gosh, by golly. Okay, and we're gonna do, what did we do before? Let's do the opposite of what we did. So let's do eucalyptus and rainforest for this one, because we did the pistachio and artichoke before. And then we can decide which one we like. Mix in the others, okay? And then let's just do the rainforest that's left on this. We won't even pick up more. We'll just blend it in there. And then do the berries. Question, what about the berries on the green one? I did those with white. I did them with a little bit of gray to create a white blending. So they are blended. They are just not blended all the way. Okay, let's do pimento. And then let's do poppy. The berries are white looking on purpose. Yes. It's hard to see because the lights are so bright in here, but there is a little bit of gray shading towards the bottom, which makes them look not like all white. You know, they have a little shadow on them. It helps. It helps. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. Let's do this guy. We'll do it in the opposite of what we did before. So we'll come in with and maybe we'll do like stardust berries on this guy. So we're gonna do pistachio. There's too many inks on my surface right now. They're everywhere. Pistachio. Okay, artichoke. Okay, and then let's move this over and do stardust berries on this little guy. Okay. What did I do with, oh, there it is. Okay. You guys have a busy week ahead. I kind of, well, compared to last week, I kind of have a busy week ahead. So we'll see how it all pans out. Not crazy busy. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. I don't enjoy hair appointments. I know there's so many people who love to go and get their hair done. I get it done because I have to. I do not enjoy it. I am one of those that feels like I'm just sitting there and there's so much I could be doing with that time that it just kind of drives me nuts. Kristen can't keep up with the chat anymore. She has to make dinner. Well, that's important. So we're totally fine with that, but we're glad you're here. Okay, so let's grab the coordinating dies for all of these pieces. Oh, the tape, the tape. I wish they could find a different way than all of this tape all the time. And because my cardstocks are a little bit warped, I think I'll go ahead and use some tape. Just what I said I didn't like. Just kidding. So let's line these up. Let's do this. And then no clue where we're going after this, y'all. So, okay, where is this? Does that go there? That goes there. Okay, just having a hard time with my puzzle pieces here. I could fall asleep when I get my hair done. Oh, my hairdresser. I hope he's not watching. My hairdresser wants to talk the entire time. He wants to talk about like anything and everything. He doesn't even care. He doesn't like it when I get on my phone. He wants me to sit there and talk to him. So falling asleep, not an option. Oh my gosh, I just totally smeared the ink right there. I think it was probably sitting on top of the berry and I didn't get it wiped good enough. And now I have smeared red ink right there. And since I know that this is not going to cut it out, I'll probably be using that one. So, all right. I think that when you use greens that are varied together, it makes the composition a lot more interesting. So when you're building like a little bundle, bouquet, whatever you want to call it on your own, and you're not using like something that's pre-designed for you, I think mixing those greens in your blending and your die cutting makes it a lot more interesting. I know, red. Oh, find a head spa place. It's heaven. I'm sure it is. Stephanie says, my lady loves to chit chat too. My hair is super thick. And it takes generally about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours for him to do my hair. So it is not my favorite appointment. Just saying. I love you, Jess, but it's just a lot of time. I started doing my own nails and hair because I just can't handle it sitting in the chair so long. Yes. So I was doing my own nails for a while. However, The girl I go to, she just does them so perfectly. And I can't do them that perfectly. Look, there's red on there. That's no bueno. The girl that does my nails just does them so perfectly. I can't handle it. I like need them done by her. I don't let anybody else do my nails. She's like, I'm taking the day off. I'm like, I'm coming a different day then. Okay. We'll see if we need a couple more, but we'll leave those for now. And let's decide what we want to do. Does anyone else use a Gemini Junior? I cannot find the cutting plates. Martha, have you tried scrapbook.com? Try there. If you can't find them there, then try on Amazon. I still get my hair cut. I just do the color. Oh, I couldn't do the color if I wanted to. It wouldn't happen. I have no clue what I'm doing here. My thought was even to do a bunch of greenery. I'm not liking this green on that. I love this green on this sea glass. So if they were all like this color, I could totally do that. We could go with white instead on the background. Okay, that would be like simple layout. We could bring in the other colors if we change the background. So we could bring in a couple more of the greenery. And of course, these are going to be on foam adhesive. Question, emboss background? I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going with this yet. So I'm just kind of feeling it out as I go. Let's see, we're good on time. I have a few things pre-cut and it's just really sentiments. And the white layers, what I've done is I've die cut them with some Altenew adhesive sheet on the back. So they're basically stickers. And I'm gonna stack up a couple layers, white layers, here to give it some dimension. And then I think I'm gonna put a champagne layer on the top. But you can see how much easier this is when there's adhesive on the back, especially look how delicate this is. So it is definitely not something, I did not put the adhesive sheet on the back of the champagne layer, and I feel like I'm gonna regret that. But I'm just kind of using my fingers to line up like the large loops of these layers before I like really press everything down. So I'm just kind of moving it all into position, making sure everything's lined up well, and then pressing down. Okay, isn't that pretty? So fine and dainty, I agree. And then we have the vellum layer here, which is the shadow. So we'll just put that right onto the shadow because it's adhesive backed already. So we'll just line that up, make sure everything's equally spaced here. Press that down, okay? And I know I definitely like the blue greens on this background better. I am not necessarily going with this background. I'm kind of laying out what I think, and then we may play with backgrounds, okay? So we're not there yet. So don't worry, because I definitely like the blue greens better on this background as well. But I kind of wanted to just play with layout. I love the joyful too. It's so different. I don't have anything that says joyful. Oh, Marcia, yeah, the hair, the scalp thing, the scalp spa. I've seen it like on Instagram where it has like the special thing where they It's like an arched thing where they wash your scalp and they massage you and give you scalp masks and all of that. And then I would have to, do they dry your hair for you? I gotta know. Marcia, when you did it, did they dry your hair? Because let me just tell you, that's a whole nother thing. Drying my hair is a whole chore, which is why I do not wash my hair every single day, because half of my life would be spent drying my hair, and I'm not okay with that. I like this arrangement. I'm totally great with this arrangement. I'm just not convinced that this is the background that I want it on. Yes, they dry your hair. Got the blowout and styler afterwards. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that maybe would change my mind, but I still maybe would feel like, oh, I have things to do. Now, the one thing I can do where I can sit still and I can really enjoy is a massage. I love a good massage. Full body. It is my preferred way. Carm says, my hair used to be that thick, then I turned 50. I wonder if that is like, I'm sure it's like a hormone change, right? That happens. I haven't started in that direction yet with the hormone changes. It was included in, oh, I got a facial. Oh, it was from your daughters for Mother's Day. What a beautiful Mother's Day gift. That's my kind of Mother's Day gift. Relaxation. Here's the deal. I mean, honestly, I do keep up on quite a few things regularly. Like, I do get pedicures regularly. I do get my nails done regularly. And so, like, I don't want a gift certificate for my nails for my birthday or my, Mother's Day or whatever, because I'm going to do that anyway. So, like, get me like something like that I wouldn't. What about a nectar background? I'm not there yet. I'm not to the background yet. I'm just like letting it go, figuring out where I want to do this. So there's the Mary, but I think I'm going to use the Joyful because it's different. I'm looking at this. There's some like red in the center of these berries, and I want to make sure that it doesn't smudge. So how did we have this? Maybe there-ish. And let's do that. And then what I think I'll do, I'm digging the arrangement. So let's do, this is my secret weapon. It is a all-in-one turnabout jig from Concord and Night. It's like a sticky mat. And then I just go like this, and I pick all this up, and then that's gonna stay in the arrangement that I want. I can put my foam adhesive on the back, and then I can add it to my card project. Ooh, these two behind are not wanting to stick, but that's okay. Let's do that. Okay, so now we're good there. Press them down. It's buffering again. Oh my gosh. Oh, I see it buffering on my end too. The other day it was just YouTube, and on the replay, it wasn't like any sort of issue at all. So I don't know what to do on something like that. Because the other day, like I said, it was fine for some people and then not for others. So let's see what happens here for just a second. I hate when this happens. Go out and back in. It fixed it. I think it's YouTube, you guys. Because seriously, this happened the other day, and back on the stream, it like was fine on the replay. So I'm watching I'm watching it here on YouTube to see what it does. So let's see if it catches up. Oh yeah, I'm thinking nectar would be a really nice choice for that. But what I'm thinking I need to do is, because these are moving around after I gave birth to my son, my mother gave me a full spa day, body massage, facial manicure for the fingernails and toes. It was crazy. Oh, that's such a sweet gift. Okay, it seems fine. If you go out of YouTube and come back in, it seems like it's working just fine. Like we're all caught up. Everything's good. It seems like everything's still happening. This YouTube lately, I'm wondering if it's a setting that I have on YouTube that's making things go crazy like that. Okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to start doing some foam adhesive. And when I put the foam adhesive, I'm going to just like lay it to where it crosses over a couple of them so that it's holding them together. Okay. It's better now, Carissa. Yay, it stopped buffering now. It's fixed. Great. The other day I ended my live early, and when the replay came back on, everything was fine. Like it wasn't even buffering or anything. Like everything had been just fine. So I don't know. I don't know why that happens. Okay, let's do this. So these are all connected now. Everything is connected. So I can move it around as one piece rather than having to fuss with a bunch. Someone suggested a nectar card base, and I am gonna try that. Let me just get a couple more pieces of foam adhesive down. This is just a scrap of the DIY foam adhesive that I make. Okay, I'm going back to my publishing software here. It's gotta be YouTube. It's gotta be. I can't think of what else it would be because my program is working fine. Stinking YouTube. Okay. So now I have one solid piece. Now, do you see how all of this area here like is not cut out by the die? And that's why I felt like doing it on colored cardstock would not be the best, because I felt like you would have a lot of like green area there. It would be hard to do the berries like that too. So that's another consideration. So I ended up just going with white for the stamping and the die cutting. Now, if you didn't want to do ink blending and you wanted to put it, like if you wanted to do all greenery on like a green background and just give it some dimension, I think that would be a really pretty way to use this set. So just stamp them, not stencil them, or maybe just do a tiny bit of shadow. Like stamp them in, excuse me, stamp them on eucalyptus. Do a tiny bit of shading towards the center of the leaves, die cut them, and only do the greenery, and then put that on a eucalyptus background, and then that would be really pretty. So like green on green. How do I make it? Carm says, I have a video on my YouTube channel it's like DIY foam adhesive or something like that. The only difference is now instead of the score tape, I use the scrapbook.com 4-inch adhesive rolls, and I use Fun Foam from Amazon. I'm really digging this on the nectar. Creating Eye Candy says it is absolutely YouTube. Crazy. All right, let's do this, and then we can decide what we want in the background. So I'm thinking like we have something like this. We have the joyful, and then we have a strip of a sentiment. So we got to grab that set again. Joyful greetings, that could be really cute. Let's do it on, I'm thinking, pimento or poppy. Let's see. I'm thinking poppy. I have some scraps here. If you were here the other day, I showed you that as I'm working with a palette throughout a season, I kind of just keep the scraps for that palette in a little stamp pocket, and then I always have scraps, and then I keep just some half sheets of that cardstock too. Martha, I'm foam adhesive and 4-inch double-sided tape from scrapbook.com, and I have a video here on my YouTube channel showing how to do it. It's years and years old. So I'm going to stamp greetings, so it'll say joyful greetings. So let's just do this. And I'm going to use the banner die to cut it out. So where did I put it? I'm looking for this. This is that platinum embossing powder again. I'm wondering if I should have done white for this because it would show better, but we'll see how it looks when I melt it. It'll be more contrasty. Loving the nectar. It looks really pretty with all of those greens and then this flower just kind of popping out as the big thing there in the center. I think it's really pretty too. Okay, let's do this. Kona says, I see what you mean with the way the die is cut. Yeah, and that's why I didn't do the stamping on colored cardstock. Okay. So that says greetings. I'm gonna give that just a second to cool. And then we can wipe off all the excess anti-static powder. And then we'll grab the coordinating die. There's like a strip die. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna line it up kind of on that side there. On that left side, making sure it's centered up. I'll hold it in place. And I'll have to run this through twice to get it exactly where I want it, but I'll show you how to do this so you get that die line. Okay, let's do this. Okay, Carissa, hold on. Let's line that up. Okay, so making sure it's centered up there. It's lined up to the left side of this greeting, and I'm gonna run this through, okay? Hi, Mandy. Thanks for watching the replay. I'm hoping you're having a good day at work. Okay, so we got that. So we have the die line on the one side, and we're gonna take and we're gonna nestle this into those cut lines, okay? So it's nestled into the die, and then I can just line it up where I want it to fall on the right side. So this will give me a perfectly cut greeting. A greeting, because it says greeting. The big focal point, yes. Kind of creating that landing space for everything, huh? Okay, and now we have a perfectly cut little banner. Joyful greetings. Love that. Okay, So, looking at this, I'm liking that. I'm gonna probably just go ahead and like connect this, because otherwise it's just gonna be running around on me and it's gonna drive me nuts. Do the Anna Griffin plates warp? Sometimes, especially if you're using a metal shim a lot, but I would say that there's a lot less warping with them. Here's the realistic thing of it is that any plate can warp because they're all really made out of the same thing. It just depends. If you have too much or a lot of pressure all the time, then you can definitely have more warping. So, but it is definitely my go-to machine for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little piece of foam on the back of this. Maybe, if I can find some foam here. I'm glad I'm not the only one who talks to myself. Oh, I talk to myself all the time. I'm pretty much talking to myself as we're creating. Because, you know, it's just me here in the room. In the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. Okay. So we'll end up with something like this, okay? But here's the deal. It needs something, right? It needs something. We either need to go with texture in the background. Someone mentioned, I think, a frame. We could try that. Let me see what my Kristina Werner stuff is. Let's see. What are these ones? I don't have them marked, so it's like, are these the A2 ones? I'm late. We'll definitely be watching the replay. Hello, Carissa and all the crafty peeps. Hello, Julie. Thanks for coming. So we could do this. I don't know. What if we did this one? Ooh. Okay, let's try this. I might have to get some more champagne cardstock. Okay, now when I'm cutting my champagne or my matte gold or whatever, I don't want to send this whole thing through the die cut machine because it can definitely pick up texture from the plates and that sort of thing. So I generally just hack it down to where it roughly fits the size of the die, and then I run it through that way, and that way, you know, I'm not super worried about that. Love those frames. I know. Looks like my wish list is going to be growing, LOL. Has anybody used the Spellbinder's Glimmer Hot Foil system with the Anna Griffin die cut machine? You cannot, Carm. It's not compatible. So unfortunately, it is one of those things where it is mainly for die cutting if you're gonna do it. Now, if you want a machine that does die cutting well, but can also be used with the glimmer, then I recommend the Spellbinder's Platinum 6, or, and I've never used this one, so this is just by the recommendation of friends, or I would recommend the Gina K Intricate. And my friend Mindy, if she's still here, she might be able to weigh in on the Intricate. Mindy, are you here? Can you weigh in on that? I've heard good things. I just don't have one, so I can't directly speak to it. I kind of love this situation of the frame. But I feel like if I'm going to do it, I kind of need to center it up and let it be like this. I think this is a great option right here. Okay. Feeling good about this. It just keeps getting more and more beautiful. Well, thank you. I haven't had any warping yet. Anna Griffin plates seem to be a way better quality than the others. I honestly just think that the machine is dialed in for die cutting, and so the pressure is right. I do get warping when I'm putting a lot of pressure to cut like an intricate die and I'm using the metal shim. I just replaced mine the other day, and you can see I've been using them. They're not warped, but when I replace them, I don't really find the need to use my metal shim until this starts to kind of stretch and flatten out a little, and you lose a little pressure once that starts to kind of flatten out. Quilted background plate, possibly. You know what else is good? Used this one the other day and it was so good. The stitched stripe card front. This is a really great holiday one because it reminds me of candy cane stripes. Just wish they had an electric one suitable, and it's stopping me from purchasing it due to shoulder injury. An electric one suitable for the glimmer. So the glimmer is, doesn't have a lot of pressure if you have to do it manually, but if you're just wanting one machine to do it all, right now I only know of either the Spellbinders or the Intricate that can emboss, like with embossing folders, cut, die cut, and also do glimmer and better press. That's the only two that I know are and they're both manual. So I'm not sure that there is another one. I do know I was at an event where Spellbinders was, their corporate people were there, and I just had a conversation with them, and they have no plans at this time to release any sort of electric motor machine. So it can't be long. Oh, Emma said, it can't be long before Spellbinders launch an electric machine. They actually told me that they have no plans of it right now. So, and I mean, that could have changed between July and now, but that's what they told me in July. Like, it was just cost prohibitive. Okay, so I kind of want to I'm going to cut this frame again from the Nectar, but I'm going to use the inside of this so there's no stripes on the inside of my frame. Just watch. Just watch. It'll make sense here in just a bit. Margarita says, love the card layout. Thanks, Margarita. That's the first time I have seen Margarita spelled with a D. I have a couple of friends named Margarita, and that's the first time I've seen it spelled with a D. So that's very interesting. Okay, so I'm thinking like this, and then we do this. Sizzix works for both too. Yes, it does. And Sizzix is coming out with a new machine. Isn't that cute? I love it. Okay, this is where I want to go. Oh, I just stretched my frame. Dang it. Okay, let's do this. Do a little tape runner. So I'm just going to put some tape runner on the back of this, and I'm going to do my best to put this right in the center of my card. Looks good. Okay. Then we're going to take this guy, which is our frame, and then we're going to take and add just a little bit of liquid glue around the edge of this piece that we've added to the front of the card. So I'm just putting my fine tip nozzle right along that edge there and adding a fine bead of liquid glue. Okay, so just boom, 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 right along the edge there. And then we'll take our frame and we'll shape it around that inner piece that we've already laid down. So we'll just make sure that it's lined up with the edges, and because I stretched it a little bit, I'm having to like push it into the frame, because when I picked it up, I stretched it. So I'm just pushing it against that center piece that I laid down and then holding that down. Okay. Then this will end up going here where you can see like, oh, there's a frame there. And it's like, this is busting out of the frame. Apparently the glimmer will work with the Sizzix Big Shot switch, which is electric. Oh, there you go. Big Shot electric. Yes. Maggie, if you're buffering and freezing, go out and come back in. It happened earlier to some, and I think it's YouTube. So let's do this. Let's take off all of the backers. My Sizzix Big Shot is not electric. Don't know if the new one is. The new one that they are releasing is not an electric machine, but Sizzix does have like electric machines. So, and if you have questions about whether or not, you know, your machine is compatible with the Glimmer or the Better Press, you can go on the Spellbinder site and they actually have a list of compatible machines. Okay. So now let's take this and we're going to make sure, let's start out with it straight on my work surface. And we're going to make sure that we can see various parts of the frame. And once I get it, I need to look in my screen to see kind of an overhead view. So let's go up just a teensy. And cock it just a little to the side. Okay, loving that. So these are the A2 frames dies from Kristina Werner's collection. So now we have that, and then it looks like somehow I die cut the stripes in part of the card, but not the rest of the card. You know what? If you go back, if it buffered and you're talking about the Big Shot, if you go back and rewind it, I'm finding that it doesn't, when you replay it, it's not a problem. Okay, now we have to figure out where we want our greeting. I want these center pieces. I'm watching on my YouTube too, and it's not freezing, so you may have to go back out and come back in. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't have any control over that. I don't know why it keeps happening. Anyway, so let's do this. Can someone put in the chat that's not freezing for those people who are having issues with buffering and freezing to go back out and come back in? Okay, so let's do this. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be like for some people, they have problems with it buffering and freezing, and then some people not. So thank you, Creating Eye Candy, for putting that in the chat. I could stop and type that, but I do find that for those of you who missed something, if you go back and watch the replay, it seems to be fine. Like the buffering doesn't happen on the replay and such. Okay, that did not work well. Hold on. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna move it, I think, over because the way it's laying across this joyful, it's getting weird. I might have to fix this. It's just kind of not doing what I really want it to do. So let's do this. Let's do liquid glue. And then Brianna says, this card is stunning, Carissa. Thank you. I'm allowing this opening between the F and the L to kind of show my little floral center through it, which it's hard to see when it's far away, but looks great. Now we're going to put a new piece of foam on the back of this. It's likely due to where we get our stream from once it comes through YouTube. It's not just one place. Oh, interesting. I don't know all the ins and outs of how that works. Okay. So now we have foam, new foam. We're going to do this over to the side a little bit because I didn't like the way it was kind of curling up as it was going across the joyful. Again, with the L is getting in my way, so I just need to move it down just a teensy. Okay, now I think we're good on the greetings. Okay. Joyful greetings. Went out, came back in, still no problem here. Okay, awesome. But we lost a lot of people on that because there were like a whole bunch of you watching before. And now there's not as many. So we lost a bunch of you. I'm sorry about that. I wish I had more control over what happens, but I don't. Okay, so now I just need a card base. So I'm getting up to grab some white cardstock. My Concord and 9th white cardstock sits over there because it's my favorite. And so I have to make sure that it stays safe and secure. And then I'm going to grab this. Oh, good. I'm sure all the people on the replay are going to be like, I don't know what's happening. Okay, everybody says it works to go back out and come back in. So if it happens to you, just go back out and come back in. But come back. Oh, there's a bunch of you coming back in now. Cool. I didn't lose all of you. Okay, so that's gonna go there. And then I think what we're gonna do is add some sparkling clear confetti, because what would it be without some sparkling clear confetti, right? I'm gonna add a lot of tape runner over this entire thing. And then I like to just take my card and my card front and just kind of like line them up on my work surface. Even like this. Get this all lined up here. Either pick top or bottom, because if you need to trim, then you can go off of one side and not the other. Okay, then we're gonna do that. Get that pressed down onto the backer there. This, when you use like a background stitch like this, it tends to add a lot of curl to the cardstock. So you want to make sure that you get that nice and secured down. And then let's do sparkling clear confetti, right? All right. I'm glad you guys are liking this. I've been wanting to create with this so bad. And like I said at the start, I just haven't had time to do a pre-recorded video. So I decided, let's just do a live stream, because I like being live with you guys. I think it's a lot of fun. And then those who can watch on the replay can watch on the replay as well. And hopefully, when you're here, you've found a little joy, found a little light, and maybe a little inspiration, whether it's a color palette or something I did that you hadn't thought of before. I'm hoping that you leave here with inspiration. So I'm thinking maybe something like that. Like this guy. Tucked. Maybe take that guy out. Okay. Put this guy back. All right. Hard to see. I am not just liking it, I am loving it, says Lydia. Thank you, Lydia. Lives are fun and questions can be answered, if not by you, other great crafters. I agree, and it's so much fun for us to get to connect. And I understand that, like, I don't always do it at a time where everybody can come, but honestly, I mean, how would I ever find a time where everybody could be here? But it's fun to watch on replay, and I do have YouTube process the live chat so that if people watch on replay, they can watch the live chat as well. And maybe that's the difference in the buffering. I don't know. Maybe it's just too much. But other people do it. I don't know why it would be for me and not for other people. So I'm not sure about that. Okay. We have just that little bit of sparkle. Bring on the bling. It's possible it's a location connectivity thing. Shopping list is so spot on. Love your live streams. Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate that. I love it that you guys are here. What brand is the sparkling clear confetti? Is it C9? No, it's Pretty Paint Posh. So there you have it. You have a few little sparklings down here. Kind of draws the eye. A few up here. 1, 2, 3. And then you have that shine. Oh my goodness. Isn't this fun? Now, as I mentioned before, if you don't want to arrange your own florals, then the background, this Winter Greenery background stamp is already arranged for you, but then you don't have the freedom to kind of put things where you want and that sort of thing. So I love the individual pieces where you can kind of stamp them. And I'm done creating. However, I wanted to give you guys an idea of what I was talking about earlier with doing like a tone on tone. So this is how I would use it if I wanted to use a colored cardstock. Let me cut this down. I'm gonna do this real quick. Hopefully it won't take long. Hopefully you guys wanna stick around for a little extra inspo. Stunning, gorgeous as usual. Can't wait for mine to get here. Well, I hope you have the greatest time playing when it does. Let's see if I can get these all on here or not. I'm gonna just see if I can get a bunch of these stamped onto eucalyptus. Let's move these closer. Hopefully there's enough room for me to die cut. Okay, perfect. So if I wanted to do colored cardstock, tone on tone, I would take all of my greenery pieces and, you know what? Should we do pistachio instead? I looked up from my craft table and it's done. So pretty. Okay, let's do this. We're going to ink and stamp. Yes, give us all the inspo. Okay. Now, I won't finish this into a card because I'm sure my dogs are like, Mom, let me out. And I do have to record a voiceover for tomorrow still. So I want to make sure I get that done before my husband gets home because he hasn't been home. And I want to be able to spend some quality time with him. I think we might go out to eat tonight. So there's that. And then you could actually just leave these. I thought about embossing them. Should we emboss them? Let's emboss them. Let me get a scrap piece of paper here. And Donna Marie says, I'm sticking. She's sticking around. Okay, so this is that same platinum embossing powder. I'm not changing anything here. Oh, shoot. Made a mess again. Let's clean up. Carissa's just a little Amelia Bedelia. And then we're gonna hope you have a wonderful dinner with Hebby. Thank you. He actually, he heard that me and my daughter went to Olive Garden while we were gone, and he was jealous. And I said, well, I'll take you to Olive Garden tonight if you want to go, even though, man, that food. I don't eat grains on a regular basis. And so that food just sits real heavy for me. Going from the back side here. You can see it turn. I have a little candle going today. It is from Sugar Spell Candle Co. And it's from my friend Angela Conrad, who you may know. She was a card, she's kind of taken a break from card making, but she was on the Ellen Hudson design team with me when that was still around. And she's doing candles now. I hate being away from my hubby. We're actually getting pretty used to it because he does a men's event for our church and I do a women's event for our church. And we go up there and help and serve. And he serves at the one, I serve at the other, and it requires us to be gone for a bit. So we're getting better at being away from each other. And I always stay so busy when he's gone. It's something weird that happens in me. Like there's this thing where I don't feel like I have to turn it off at the end of the day. Cause you know, working from home, the work is always here. The things are always here. And I don't feel like, oh, I need to be done by like 4-ish. Because he's, you know, going to be home or whatever. So I don't feel that pressure when he's gone. And I tend to just get into projects and do sort of things to keep me. I am a ginger and my kids are gingers and my grandbabies are gingers. You look like you belong in my family. Oh, how sweet. Do you know I have not a single ginger? Not a single one. I did not get any. My mom and my grandma were both gingers. We were all 25 years apart. And we all share the same middle name. You aren't in nursing anymore. I am in nursing. I just have reduced my schedule to 1 day a week because I'm doing this more and more. So that is, I still do nursing 1 day a week. So I'm still a pediatric nurse. Soup and salad at Olive Garden. My son's beard is kind of red. So I think like if he married the right person, like there might be a chance that he would have like redheaded babies. Okay, so if you had like a couple more where you could fill this out and you could do all the greenery, right? Just like this, or you could put it right onto the eucalyptus. And if you have some dimension behind it, it would give it some lift. So you could do like eucalyptus on eucalyptus. You could even do something like this. And have it raised up. Okay, the dimension would make all the difference in the world on this because it would pop it up. And I don't feel like you guys are not seeing the shine of that. So that's what you get there. And then you could have your Mary just like that. And that would be a fun way to use the greenery on a colored cardstock. And then if you wanted to, you could use the stencils and add a little bit of shading so that you get a little bit of differentiation on that. So you would put the stencils over the top, get a little bit of shading or differentiation on that. I wouldn't put all these berry ones go in the same direction. I would have the berries go in the different directions. And then maybe do that stitch stripe background on this, and boom. Question, is that Spellbinders cardstock? No, this is Concord and 9th. This is the eucalyptus. This is sea glass, and it's part of my color combo, my Christmas color combo for this year, which looks like this. So you could even do this. This would be pretty on these on rainforest cardstock, and then put it on a eucalyptus background. And I think that would be really pretty as well. So that's a fun way to use it. And then if you wanted color for your berries, you could put some enamel dots in there or some sequins, and that would be a fun way to use it. I know it's not really picking up because you're not seeing the shine, but you can see how cute it would look when you can see the shine. Isn't that fun? Margarita says, I love how it is 10:31 p.m. She says 22:31, but that's 10:31 p.m. here, and Carissa is still planning dinner with her husband in the U.S. It's only 2:35 p.m., so 14:35 p.m. here. I'm late, but happy to catch now, and we'll watch the replay. Well, thank you. This is what I actually created for those of you who are just coming in, is this beautiful card here. We were just playing with additional ideas for this, and so I just kind of gave an additional way to use this set here. I hope all of you really enjoyed this. I'm so glad you're all here. It means so much to me that you guys come by and hang out with me, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I'm glad you're here. I hope you felt a little joy, you got a little light in your life, and that you are inspired somehow by something I created here today. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notifications. I'll have a brand new pre-recorded video tomorrow. I'm also going live on the Pink Fresh Studio YouTube channel tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is 4 p.m. 3 p.m. Wait. Yes, 3 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Pacific. So I'll be live on the Pink Fresh Studio YouTube channel tomorrow, and then I'll be live again here Friday with Alta New at 1 p.m. Pacific as well. So lots of lives, pre-recorded videos. Hello, Carissa, need the distraction tonight. Not a great week so far. I'm so sorry to hear that, Sam, and I hope your week gets better. Thank you all. Sending all my love, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my card making and paper crafting video tutorials. Thanks again, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.